Test, test, 1, 2, 3. Test, test, 1, 2, 3. What's going on, team? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions. Hope that you guys are all having an amazing Sunday. I appreciate the patience. We normally go live at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It's 6:48. I sent a message out on Discord. I have a newborn, right? She's 2 months old. I don't know if that's still considered a newborn. But she's just a little fussy after she eats. I have to burp her. So again, I apologize for the delay, but I just had some daddy duties. I should be live now. So if you guys are tuning on in live and you guys are watching live, on your right-hand side, there should be a live chat as long as you're signed into your Instagram account. Your YouTube account. You should be able to message. Damn, why are your fingers so long? I don't know. I was just born that way. So, I appreciate you guys tuning on in. I'm going to be breaking down the top 10 stocks that you guys see value in. I hope that you guys can subscribe if you guys haven't done so already. I host these live streams every single Sunday. I upload new videos every single day. So make sure you turn on your post notification so you get alerted when it is that I go live. It should be fun. I'm going to start sharing my screen so you guys can see exactly what it is that I am looking at. And we can kind of go from there. If you guys are tuning on in right now, I want to see where you guys are from. So where in the United States or even outside the United States are you tuning in from? So how will TQQQ open tomorrow? If you actually look at NASDAQ futures right now, the NASDAQ market is down about 0.40%. So in that case, if the market holds at those levels, TQQQ will be down about 1.2%. So we got people from Florida, North Carolina, Brooklyn, baby. All right, I'm from Australia. What's going on? I like that. San Antonio, I'm guessing that's Texas. What's going on from Denver, Maryland, Durham, North Carolina? I like that. Rhode Island, Palomar, Alaska. What's going on, Caleb? Arizona. Where are my Arizona people at? Bull City, baby. I like that. Kentucky, we got Kelly from Canada, Jose from Spain, Jamaica, what's up, Orlando, Florida, I like that, Ohio, Jersey, Chicago, Indiana, Stockton, Philadelphia, we got Mesa, does that mean Mesa, Arizona, Omar? Scottsdale, Chicago. Ricky, can you play the guitar for us? I can't play the guitar. If they've asked me actually during our live trading sessions, that one day I'm going to have to open it up with me just playing the guitar. San Antonio, Texas. We got Texas gang. Anybody wants to squat up in Houston? I like that. Well, I don't know actually if you guys heard about this. If you guys follow me on Instagram, it's actually the third link in the description of this video. First off, there's a bunch of fake Instagram accounts, so please look out for that. My only Instagram account for Ricky is the third link down below. But we opened up our trading HQ. I know a lot of you guys might not be based in Arizona, but I hope that you know. I mean, from the very beginning, I don't know if you guys have been following me for that long. From the very beginning, one of my biggest goals is, I've had this online presence for quite some time here on YouTube, and I'm very grateful for it. But back in 2017, 2018, randomly we started, brainstorming ideas, and it was just, something where like everyone kind of has these online groups, but I've always wanted to maybe create something that no one else has. We talked about creating an in-person facility that's made for traders. And finally, after years, right, 2022, it's free. It's actually free. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, it's actually the link in my bio. You guys can sign up, schedule a tour. You can hang out at the Trading Tech Buds HQ. And we finally made it happen. So I hope that you all know that. I don't know if you guys follow me, if you guys don't, or maybe you guys are new to it. One thing that I want to let you guys know is that, it's been a big dream of mine, a big goal that I've been working towards. So I'm very happy that I've been able to make it happen. I hope that if you ever find yourself in Chandler, Arizona, maybe you can, set up a visit, right? So we'd love to have you kind of just tour the facility, check it out, say what's up to the team and the people that we have visiting there. And that's really just it, right? We made it for you guys. And we're very grateful for the position that we are in life. And it's just kind of a way of us being able to like give back, if that makes sense. It's a co-working space. It's like now at this point, All I want to do is to create things not just for the sake of creating them, but because I want to, right? Because it's something like everyone continues to ask me, like, you're not going to make any money off of the trading HQ? Like, yeah, I can, right? But that's not why we set it up. It's just kind of those things that, I don't know. It was just a big goal of mine, and we're happy that we're able to make it happen. So let's go ahead and get into the Sunday stock talk. I want to see what stock you guys would like me to break down. So very grateful for the HQ. Wish it would open 30 minutes before market open though. Leo, I do agree with you. Maybe we can set that up later down the road to have someone there full time right at market open so you guys can begin to trade, right? So that would be 6 a.m. here in Arizona. Alrighty, so here we go. So we got Ray actually posting it in the ticker call out format. So we got ticker symbol SHOP. Let's go ahead and break that down. So this is on the 4-hour time frame, SHOP. Let's see what pulls up. So Shopify has been pretty bullish. One of the things that I do want to point out is that this moving average, ever since it broke below down here, so this is on the 4-hour time frame, ever since it broke below, it's been acting as a resistance level. So it's an overall descending pattern, making lower highs and lower lows. So again, to put it in very simple terms, direction is not in your favor. Every time that it tries to push up, it actually just goes lower. Every time that it pushes up, it just goes lower. It's trying to break through that moving average, but it looks like it's getting rejected. I would keep this very simple. I would set an alert here. If it actually begins to trade above the moving average, you can follow up with it. Position size is everything when it comes down to this. Set an alert there, but also I would set an alert for the break below $600, because if it gets rejected here, we're most likely headed right back down under $600, potentially back to $500. So just be aware of that. I mean, there's no reason that I would rush into something like Shopify. There's a lot of upside margin, and anytime that there's a lot of upside margin, one thing that I always take into consideration is that if there's so much upside, 148%, why am I rushing into buying in, right? Especially when the previous direction is not in my favor. It's not like you're missing out on anything. It's not like you're missing out on an opportunity. Set that alert if it begins to prove itself to you. I think that's a great way in looking at things. It's like, all these trade opportunities, all these investment opportunities need to prove themselves to you, that it meets your criteria. And we all see value in different ways. And that's one thing that I always want to empower you to do, is that, you might see value in a specific way, I might see it in another. But at the end of the day, if you refine the way that you specifically see value, again, all you can do is to begin to make progress, right? So we can set an alert here for the break above the moving average. We can set the alert for the break below $600 and then begin to follow up with it. So good call out, but I just think that based off of recent patterns, the overall direction is not in our favor. If it does break above and it proves it to us, then again, we have so much upside that we can ease into it. We don't have to rush into it, which I think is a great way to approach this. So we got ticker symbol UMC. What's going on, Christian? So let's go ahead and break that down. UMC. Alrighty, so this is a little bit of a lower cap stock. Let's look at this on the day chart. It was very bullish. It began to trade sideways, and it looks like now it's trying to form this reversal on the day chart. On the 4-hour time frame, it's getting rejected. I'm just really not seeing anything that I'm missing out on, right? It looks like it's been making lower highs, lower lows. It's really trying to break above, which I'm sure that that's something that you're personally paying attention to, but it's just really, really struggling. So I'll set my alert, and I'd like to follow up with it. I think position size is everything. If you decide to get in early, I would really pay attention to that position size. You don't want to have a heavy position size here if it ends up just getting rejected, right? So again, we have a lot of upside. There's no reason to rush into it. Allow it to prove itself to you. I don't know about you, but I feel like anytime that I have a very light position size and I ease into things, I'm very relaxed, I'm very composed, and it makes the trade that much more enjoyable. Yes, you might not make the most money because you don't have the most money behind that trade, but again, you're learning how to trade. I think that's the great thing that you have to remind yourself, is that you have so much time to do this. Why rush the process? You have so much to learn. So many mistakes will be made along the way. Why do it with big money, right? Watch that position size, be selective, be empowered to say no, right? Allow that opportunity to present itself. So do you personally trade options? So that's a really good question. I personally do not. That's always been a question that I've been asked very, very often. I view it to be a little bit too high risk, high reward for myself. With that being said, if you want to explore the idea or the avenue of trading options, I'm not against it. I just don't personally do it myself. I'm never here to tell you that the way that I trade is the best way. If you see that you feel options are a more suitable option for you, then do it, right? I'm here to empower you to do whatever you think is best for yourself. I'm just telling you, for myself, it's too risky, and the inconsistency there just doesn't make sense for the way that I'm wired, right? So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. All righty, we got thanks so much, bro. Keep doing it. I appreciate that. Same to you, man. So here we go. We got QQQ. All right, let's go ahead and break that one down. So QQQ, for those that are unaware of what QQQ is this is pretty much TQQQ, but it's not triple leverage. This is kind of like the SPY for the S&P for the NASDAQ market. So it's been very bullish, obviously, as the overall NASDAQ market has been very bullish. You guys can see that it's very, very overbought. But again, as long as it remains bullish, as long as it continues to trade above that EMA line, there's no reason to not be in it, right? Now, there's a big difference. If you're already in it, things are great. Now the question is, should I buy in right now? That's kind of that difficult question where I would almost take it day by day here because it's pushed up so much. I believe, and it's my opinion, that I think that the market's going to correct itself a little bit. I think that we can retest the moving average right around 350 345, 340 for QQQ. But that's just my opinion. I think that a slight correction would actually help out QQQ, where it can then begins to show that it's making higher lows, which will only, help and aid QQQ as it continues to make higher highs and higher lows. But as of right now, it's very bullish. It's very consistent. It's still trading above the EMA line. There's no reason that you shouldn't pay attention, if you are paying attention to QQQ, that you shouldn't pay attention to it, because direction is in your favor until proven otherwise, right? If we begin to break below, if we begin to show signs of a reversal, then again, that is where your position size, right, comes into place, and then that is where you prepare and anticipate for a potential reversal. So make sure that your actions make sense, not just based off what you want to happen, but what you see happening. Alrighty. Let's see. So we got GME. All right, so we got GME, very highly requested stock, right? One of the things that I personally want to say is that, this is my opinion, do I think that GME is the best investment for a beginner trader? No, it's a super risky, and people don't like when I say this because GME is based off of a movement, supposedly. I'm trying to look out for the beginner trader, and that's all I'm trying to do, right? That's all my videos are ever for. I want you to be aware of what's going on and why. I want you to understand the why behind why is GME pushing up. So GME has a lot of momentum as of right now due to, it's really GME that carries like AMC and all the other meme stocks. GME right now is super bullish. There's a lot of momentum, and that's all it's based off of. It's not a quality company. It's not a company that you want to get caught investing in my opinion. And the reason I say that is that if you look at GME, it's been more bearish than it has been bullish. It has short-lived rallies based off of momentum. It pushes and then it drops. And when it drops hard. This is why I view it as a high risk, high reward type of trade. Just my opinion, right? Do I think that beginner traders should take part of this? No. In my very simple answer, no. I don't think that you can keep up with the volatility and the momentum and the decision making that comes with it. If you want to do it, all I say is you better be good at locking in profits, and you better be better at risk management. Watch that position size, because things are great until they're not with these momentum plays. As long as the direction's in your favor, they're rallying, they're making higher highs. But as soon as that buying pressure fades and the hype is no longer there, GME, AMC, all of those meme stocks, after they push, they crash. After they push, they crash. It is a pattern. Patterns tend to repeat themselves. They don't always have to. I just need you to understand what is happening. You can see, look at the volume bars. Based off of recent volume, there's more momentum, there's more volume right now. It's a hyped up stock. When the volume begins to peak and then begins to correct itself, we're going to most likely transition into selling pressure, right? People locking in profit, understanding the wave, people get caught bag holding. I can't stress this enough, is if you want to hold for the movement, I'm not here to convince you not to. You're an adult. You do as what you think is right. If you're a beginner trader and you're trying to trade, I view this as a momentum play. An entry, an exit, it's too overbought. We anticipate a pullback, right? It would almost make more sense to prepare to short this than it would to actually go long on it because of its history and because of how overbought it is. Just my opinion. But that's probably not what you wanted me to say. I think it's great for those that are part of the movement. I just have to look out for the beginner trader. That's all I have to say. I hope that you guys can understand that. Here we go. Ticker symbol MMM. So we got 3M over here. So on the day chart, was very bullish. Been making lower highs, lower lows ever since then. 4-hour time frame, we can see a lot of consolidation. This is actually a really good sign. A lot of consolidation right at that moving average. I would like to see a break above. We haven't seen anything where it's actually indicating signs of an uptrend. A question that I always ask myself as I'm about to enter either a day trade or a swing trade is, am I missing out by not being invested? And I can tell by just how it's been trading before. No. A very simple answer is don't overcomplicate it. Look at how it's been trading. I have not been missing out on anything. If anything, I've been saving money by not being invested in a losing stock. Do you get what I mean? Our job as traders is to enter and exit efficiently. So why are you trying to force an open position when there's nothing to take advantage of? Do you get what I mean? Set that alert. If direction begins to be in your favor and you begin to miss out on something, then you can begin to formulate your trade plan, your entry, exit, stop loss, right, for risk management. And then it would actually begin to make more sense. But as of right now, it's been more bearish than it has been bullish. It looks like it's setting up pretty nicely, but please, please, please look out for yourself. Don't trade just because you can. Trade because it makes sense, because it's worth the risk. That's what I would say is something that you should consider asking yourself. Tesla. I'm actually really happy that you asked about this. How many have we broken down so far? So we have broken down where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go ahead and do 4 more. So again, if you guys want me to break down your stock, smash that like button and share it in the live chat. I'd love to break it down for you guys. Tesla has been rallying with the overall market. So I actually want to show you this. So we can use this on the Webull platform, and I can actually pull it up, TQQQ. So we can pull up TQQQ and then pull this up on the 4-hour time frame. It has a very similar setup. It's kind of hard to see. But it has a very similar setup with this overall uptrend, right? I think you can see it very nicely. If anything, Tesla almost has more momentum, right? So we can look at this when it comes down to overall from lows to highs. So if we look at this with the little trend line tool, from lows to highs, that's about a 35% ROI. Not bad. Well, really, about 38%, right? It's experiencing a lot of consolidation here. For TQQQ, kind of the same setup. From overall lows to highs, 48%. Think about that, right? The past 2 weeks of trading for Tesla and TQQQ have been super bullish. I think that this is great. But I have a saying with my Learn Plan Profit group. You don't have to agree with it, but my job is always to prepare for worst case scenario. I feel like, and again, you guys can share your opinion in the live chat, but I feel like beginner traders and traders as a whole, as they're just getting started, always are thinking about the best case scenario. Well, I could have made this much. Oh my God, like I've made this much and things are going so great. It's always about how great things are going. My job with my YouTube videos and my job with my Learn Plan Profit group when I work with them is kind of like to bring them back to reality. Not because I feel like I want to be a Debbie Downer. It's not about that. It's sometimes I feel like you need to be reminded that your job is to trade. these opportunities, and that sometimes when things look like they're too good to be true, they are, right? So when you begin to see that Tesla is consolidating, it's not that you should get scared, right? My videos are never to scare you. You don't get anything done by being scared. The idea is to prepare now while you're ahead. Not that you need to, but that if things do play out and then they begin to go south, that you prepare for it. And I hope that you can see that. I know that some of you guys might view it as like, I think it's like the AMC people and the GME people sometimes call me, what is it called? A FUD. I feel like I'm getting too old for YouTube now. FUD, right? It's like, I don't know what it stands for, but something about like fake news, something like that. I don't know what it is. I swear, I'm getting too old. I have a kid now. I don't understand all of these terms. And my videos are never about that. My videos are literally like, all I ever want to see you guys do is, I want you guys to continue to do well. But I also need you to, bring you back to reality, where when a stock gaps up 38%, fear, uncertainty, doubt, I need you guys to understand that it's not that the market needs to pull back, but if it does, I don't want you to panic sell. And again, sometimes it might look like I'm a Debbie Downer, but it's not that. I don't want you to make an impulsive decision when things are going south. I don't want you to have to plan then. It's kind of too late at that time. You're going to be irrational. Do you get what I mean? I want you to plan now while you're, at the peak of your performance, and make an informed decision now. Hey, if things break below the EMA line, I'll reduce my position size to anticipate the worst. Maybe I'll sell 50% of my position, 25%. Everyone can have a different plan, a different action. But all I ever want to empower you to do is on your green days, you prepare for your red days. And on your red days, you prepare for your green days. I think that's a great balance to have in everything, not just trading, right? But in life as a whole. That on your best days, you prepare for the worst. And on your worst days, you prepare for the best. It's like, that's kind of just like life, right? And again, I think that just happens as you begin to get older. But I view Tesla to be very overbought. It's due for a pullback, but it's so bullish. So would I short Tesla right now? Heck no. Heck no. I mean, if we know anything, Tesla, for a fact, is one of the most like aggressive moving right now, $1 trillion company. Or what is it? What's the market cap for Tesla? Is it back at $1 trillion? Yeah, 1.04 trillion. We all know that. We all know that about Tesla. Tesla moves as close to as a lower cap stock as any other, there's no other trillion dollar company that moves like Tesla. And that's exciting. That's why so many people like you and I, trade something like Tesla, which is fine. So right now, Tesla's bullish. It's trading above the EMA line. There's no indication of a reversal. It's very overbought. So yes, it makes sense on maybe why you're still trading it as it tries to make higher highs. But what I want to remind you is the more that it trades sideways, the more difficult it is, or it's going to be, for it to be able to break above that $1,000 resistance level. If we break below the EMA line, which is right below $1,000, then it's going to be our time to anticipate a slight pullback. A pullback is not the worst thing in the world. Think about it. If you prepare for a pullback, meaning that you do something here to anticipate a drop, you can sell a portion of your position if you get the confirmation of that drop and then buy more at an oversold level. So you can actually prepare to make more money on the recovery. Do you get what I mean? You should never be scared for a pullback. You should prepare for it. So, all right, we have someone just spamming. Let me just break it down for them. CRON. I see it, and I think YouTube is blocking it at this point because they're spamming it so much. Let's not do that. All right. Day chart, super bearish, lower highs, lower lows. I don't like this. It's a lower cap stock. It looks like it gets pumped every so often. And if you like trading this, they look like very short-lived rallies. Look at this. It used to trade at $15. It sells off for like 4 months. It rallies for a couple of weeks and then sells off for 2 months. And then it rallies for a couple of weeks. It sells off. It rallies for a little bit. Very risky. And then it sells off for the remainder of the time. Ask yourself, do you want to make trading simple or do you want to make trading more difficult than what it already is, right? Direction is such a key factor. When something is so bearish, you're just making it more difficult for yourself. It's not impossible, but it's just more difficult. Yes, it's a high risk, high reward type of play. It's up to you if you want to put yourself in vulnerable positions like this. I would not, especially if you're an absolute beginner. I would completely stay away from something that's this overbought. Look at the RSI, look at the MACD, and that's descending this aggressive. Alrighty. All right, let's see. What else are we going to be breaking down? So thank you, Ricky, for your videos. Could you quickly break down Apple? Let's break it down. Apple and LABD. What's going on, Michael? All righty. Appreciate your time. Hopefully I earn your thumbs up. Apple is a killer company. Apple is one of those, literally one of the most valuable, if not the most valuable company that is publicly traded. It's one of the main stocks that I talked about to our Learn Plan Profit group at oversold levels when it was trading at sub 160. It's like, it's a steal. It's not that Apple offers the greatest ROI. It's that Apple is not going anywhere. And that's what we said about Amazon. That's what we said about Apple. Like, those are like bulletproof. Like, think about 5 companies in the market that, just 5 companies as a whole that like will not cease to exist, right? Apple and Amazon. They're monopolies. They're like insane. They're their own thing. This thing offered, from previous highs, 21% ROI. Think about that. It's not guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed. But when something's that cheap and when it's such an essential company, not essential, but it's like, dude, Apple's insane, right? There's a reason it's worth what it's worth. Is Apple super cheap? No, not necessarily, but it's very, very bullish most of the time. We are approaching a previous resistance level. You're kind of late to the rally already. It's already, when I like to trade reversals, I like to trade them as we're forming them or in the early stages. This is kind of too late. I think about opportunity costs. What's my upside potential, which is 4.8%, versus my downside risk, 14%. My risk to reward ratio just wouldn't make sense. If you're going into Apple as an investment because you intend to hold it for a long term, then yeah, you have a different intention. But if you're going in for a short-term swing trade, then this is probably not the best entry point for you. It's not that you can't make money, it's that your risk to reward ratios probably won't be met. So it's kind of just asking yourself, what do you want out of the stock? Do you want something that is a buy and hold or something where you can enter and exit within a short period of time? So you kind of have to answer that yourself. But risk to reward just isn't in my favor, but it's also a very bullish company, so I can see it continuing to go up, especially based off of previous highs. So what was the other one? LABD, right? Something like that. Okay, so LABD, very oversold. The inverse of this is LABU. It's a biotech ETF. I used to follow these, but very oversold based off previous patterns. Of course, a lot of upside, 45%. No indication of this reversal, but I really like this setup. I'm going to follow up with this one as well. Let's set an alert for $38. If you entered right now, it's still considered very high risk because of how bearish it's been. If the past 2.5 months has taught me anything, it's that the cheap can get cheaper. It's a cheap stock or a cheap ETF, but it can get cheaper. We know that. The past 2 months have taught us that. So please watch your position size if you decide to buy in early and have an exit plan. I would set an alert for when if this thing begins to indicate signs of reversal. And then LABU, which is the inverse ETF, if I'm not mistaken. Let me actually pull up this flex grid. So LABU should be the inverse LABU. And it looks like LABD is actually the one that's normally more bullish. So we're looking out for that recovery. It looks like we're at that resistance level, but we never know. And it looks like it should be heading right back down. So this one, based off of previous patterns, tends to make those, higher highs and higher lows, which is great. This is the one that's more bearish. So we should be anticipating a sell-off and anticipating a reversal. So you're right on the money. Now it's kind of just waiting for confirmation. So I think that this is going to be a great one to follow up with. Please, if you decide to buy in early, watch that position size. And of course, have an exit plan if things get worse than originally anticipated. So lock in profits early. I like that. So what else are we going to be breaking down? Give me some good ones. How many have we broken down? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How many more are we breaking down? Let's go ahead and break down a couple more that posted in the ticker call-up format. So we got DP with GoPro, we got AMD, and what else? WM. Let's see if I can break those down very quickly. So GPro for which is GoPro. I love this company, but although I love the company, its stock itself is one of the worst performing stocks ever. Lower highs, lower lows, it continues to get rejected. I just think that GoPro is not innovating the market anymore. It's losing its market value in the most versatile camera space, and I think the stock price itself is just showcasing that. Direction's not in your favor. It continues to make lower highs, lower lows. Please be aware of that. And look out for yourself. It's not about what I want to happen. Trust me, I want GoPro to flourish. I love the company itself, but it's just not. Direction's not in your favor. You can't, this is where you have to remove your emotions from trading. You'll hear a lot of people of one of the biggest mistakes that they make is they become so emotional and irrational when they're making these trade decisions. It shouldn't be about that. It should be what makes sense based off of the opportunities that are being presented. Direction just simply not in your favor. It continues to get rejected. You can set an alert if a reversal forms, great. But other than that, just make it easy upon yourself. There's no reason to overcomplicate it. So the next one is AMD. So let's go ahead and break that one down. AMD is one of the market leaders when it comes down to micro devices. It's overall very bullish company, very oversold. It's kind of like NVIDIA, right? So we can actually compare the two. I saw NVIDIA was actually one that was asked or requested. I'd love to break both of them down. NVIDIA is actually performing a little bit better if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, NVIDIA is already beginning to recover, not so much AMD. AMD is still very oversold. I think there's some supply chain issues, right? Especially with the chip shortage. A lot of upside potential. I see the potential for AMD to recover. We just don't have that confirmation of it. This is personally one that I'm paying attention very closely to. AMD. NVIDIA is kind of already beginning to indicate signs of an uptrend with the overall market. AMD, not so much. I feel like it still has those issues with supply chain. So look a little bit more into it. We're still making lower highs, lower lows, a lot of consolidation down here. It looks like it's really trying to establish its support level. But again, if the overall NASDAQ market begins to drop again, then so will AMD. So there's no reason to rush into it. When you ask yourself that magical question, am I missing out by not being invested? The very simple answer for AMD right now is no, right? It's still, there's great upside. There's no reason to rush into it. So the next one that we're going to break down is going to be WM, which I believe is waste management. There it goes. Already forming a reversal. We talked about this when it was trading below 150 a share. Right now it's trading at 156. Higher highs, higher lows. It's a very bullish company. This is not a company that's talked about very often because there's nothing glorious about it. It's not a tech stock. It's not very flashy. It's consistent though. It's kind of like what Crocs was, right? It performed very, very well, and there's great returns. These are kind of actually one of my favorite type of stocks to trade. The ones that are kind of under the radar, right? It broke above the EMA line, and the overall upside is about 16%. We're already headed that way. You can see that it's trading above the moving average. It's trading above the EMA, making higher highs, higher lows. Set an alert for the break below 150. If we break below, we're probably headed right back down to 140. But if we break above this 160, again, there's no question that we can approach the 168 or the overall previous highs. So what is the NASDAQ Composite Index? Follows the overall NASDAQ market. The NASDAQ market has a big focus on tech stocks. So that's why sometimes, if you see that the NASDAQ market is down, sometimes Tesla is down or Apple is down and vice versa. Depending on the market cap of those big tech stocks, they can influence overall major indexes like the NASDAQ market and like the S&P 500 if they make up a part of those overall indexes. We talked a little bit more about it in the Learn Plan Profit lesson library if you want to learn more about it. If not, do your own due diligence. You can learn this all on your own. It just takes a little bit more time, right? And that's kind of where I'm going to leave it at. I mean, we can talk about AMC. AMC is a really similar setup to GME. Very hyped up stock. High risk, high reward. It's a very short-lived rally, and then it always tends to crash. Always tends to. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But again, it pushed, it crashed. It pushed, it crashed. It pushed, it crashed. It pushed, it crashed. It crashed. It pushed, it crashed. It pushed, it crashed. It's pushing. You can't blame me for thinking that it's going to crash, right? So I'm excited to follow up with this overall week. I did let you guys know that the overall NASDAQ market as of right now is down about 0.35%, which means that the TQQQ should open a little bit around 1% in the red if the market holds. So we're most likely going into a red start for the week. But we always know that, again, at market open, there's huge volatility and there's big shifts of direction. So I would love to break it down for you if you guys have any other stocks that you guys want me to break down. I hope that you guys are aware that you guys can refresh the screen right now. The first link in the description is my free Discord group. It's absolutely for free if you want to connect with other like-minded individuals. That's the whole purpose of the free group. There is a lot of people in there. There's the quality of information being shared is, well, it's a free group, right? There's no paywall. So sometimes it gets a little hectic. One of the things that I do want to remind you guys is that I do trade live every single day, and that's for my Learn Plan Profit group. No, you don't have to sign up. Learn Plan Profit is just the group that I personally work with on a closer basis and that get to watch me trade live every single day. So if you want access to me, this is the only option that I offer, and we actually have it. The second link in the description, a $100 off coupon, and we're opening the spots for the $100 off until the end of tonight. So if you want to sign up, the $100 off coupon will be valid until the end of tonight, and you can join us as soon as tomorrow at market open for our live trading session. If you're not ready for that, I have a bunch of free videos on YouTube. It just takes a little bit more time as you have to implement that structure yourself. So if you're good with structure, then learn for free on YouTube, right? But if you're someone that wants assistance and that wants it in a structured format, that is where Learn Plan Profit 2.0 comes in place. So again, if you want to learn a little bit more about it and you want that $100 off, click the second link in the description. If you don't see it, refresh your screen and you should be able to see it there. I appreciate you guys' time. Again, feel free to connect with me. All my links are in the description. You guys can message me on Discord, message me on Instagram, and that is all linked down below. Also, again, friendly reminder for the TechBuds apparel, all the trading mouse pads, you guys feel free to go check it out right now. That's at shoptechbuds.com. We just restocked on our extra large day trader mouse pad, and I think that there's 2 or 1 left in stock. So for those that want to pick it up, feel free to do so. I really do appreciate you guys' time. Hope and wish you guys an amazing Sunday. Thank you again for joining me. Please drop a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.